Eyebrow switch a lot, right? And I mean a lot. And one thing that always stands out to me is how streamers choose to have their branding very much the same as 100,000 other streamers in their niche. Look, for example, at this, or this, or this. Well, not anymore. After watching this, you'll be able to make your own stream branding concept, design your own logo, and if you're not gonna make it yourself, then you can at least effectively communicate your design to an artist on Fiverr or any other platform. Those 3 logos we saw before all break one very specific rule of branding. Want to know which one? Well, you can jump straight to it using the timestamps in the description. However, if you're going to be creating your own content creation brand, I suggest you sit back, relax, have a cup of coffee, and put your learning hats on. My name is Mathman, and this is Content Delta. Okay, let's get rid of this hat. Before we start getting into designing a logo, we have to talk about something you might not have expected. Color theory. As the name implies, it is a whole theory on colors when used in marketing and that kind of stuff. And if you're interested in that, you should definitely check it out. There are hundreds of really good videos on YouTube, but we will go through the basics right here. The first thing we need to be turning to for this is something you might recognize from high school, the color wheel. When thinking of a brand, when you got the concept and the name down, the first thing you want to think about is a color. This will be your primary color that features heavily in all your overlays, in your design, in your logo, in your website, literally everywhere you want to brand yourself. Then, what we're going to do is that we're going to add 2 to 4 colors to our scheme. I usually pick 2 more because it allows you to simply adhere to a very important design rule, the 60-30-10 rule. Note that the 60-30-10 rule depends on the situation you use it in. For example, while your primary color is usually very vibrant and features heavily in the logo, it would not work for the background of a website because it would render the text completely unreadable. However, even then, it is important to follow the 60-30-10 rule. But how do you choose these colors? Well, the first one is simple. You choose a color that you like and that fits with the feeling of your brand. However, choosing the other colors can be more difficult, and usually you will want to use one of 3 color theoretic standards. The first one of those is analogous colors. These are colors that are very much alike your primary color, however they change ever so slightly the emotion you want to portray. Take, for example, the Content Delta logo. Well, we could go a little lighter and make it more yellow, or we can go a little more red and give it a more passionate feel. Or you could go for complementary colors. These are colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, which is exactly what we did. You see this in the red and green of Christmas, the yellow and purple of Cadbury, and of course, the orange and blue of Content Delta. Note that you can always combine your color scheme with black and white for accents, outlines, or backgrounds. There's an amazing tool that I used myself when I designed Content Delta. Go check it out. There's a link to it down below. Now that we have a brand swatch, which is what you call these combination of colors that you've now designed, we can start on our logo. And any successful logo has to fulfill 3 requirements. A logo has to be memorable, distinctive, and simple. The first one is sort of obvious, right? When people see your content or your merch, you want them to go, hey, that is streamer
Sexy Man Streams 69.
What is important to remember, however, is that a logo is not just memorable. So don't go around and use the shock doc approach to logo making. You want people to remember it positively, so when they come back, they actually interact with you much easier because they recognize you and your logo. A logo on its own clearly doesn't do this, but it will help massively because it allows people to recognize your brand more easily. However, how are you going to do that if your logo is just like every other streamer's out there? You don't. That is why your logo must be distinctive. Having a logo that looks like all others does not only make it less distinctive, it really hurts memorability. A great way to be distinctive in your logo is relating it directly to your name or something you are known for. Take, for example, my friend Eason, who is a VTuber. His character has cat ears, muted blue hair, and light blue highlights, which is why I included all these in the logo. While they first wanted a complicated logo with a lot of bells and whistles, I convinced them to try something simple that is easy to use in different situations and looks great on merch. Now, logos come in 2 major flavors, pictorial and lettermark. Here we went for a lettermark logo, using the E to really incorporate his name and his personality into the logo. If you want to see if Ethan is still using the logo on his Twitch, go check out the link downstairs, and if he is, why not let me know by leaving a like on this video. As you can see, for this logo, I really tried to keep the most important design rule for logos and really any kind of design in mind. Keep it simple, stupid, or KISS for short. A simple, clean, and tidy logo can be so much more memorable than a busy logo with a lot of intricate details, which nobody really pays attention to anyway. As an example of this, why don't we have a look? And honestly, I am embarrassed to show you this. The first logo we used for MathManyU versus the one we use today. I mean, the first one looks so bad. Just so bad. It is messy, it is illegible, it is ugly. But this concept is still what we use on the channel to this day. Speaking of, if this leads you all to some questions, I stream every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why not go ahead and check that out? I can answer your questions live on stream, or you can join the Discord, link down below. Now let's talk about your logo and how you can use all this to make your design. Well, you are already well on your way because you have already chosen your colors and created your brand swatch or color palette for your logo. This can be a lettermark logo or a pictorial one, as we are designing right here for a member of our community. He wanted a crown that looked evil, so I went with slender spikes to really communicate that. Once you've found something that really resonates with you, you can just start playing with it and keep working on it until it feels right. But while we're doing this, let's get some actionable tips out there so you can design your logo. First off, get inspired by others, but do not copy them. You can use them to get an idea for the color scheme or the logo, but remember that we want something unique, something specifically tailored for you. Secondly, once you have a design, don't just call it quits. Iterate and iterate again. You want to look at every detail, the way you've set up the colors, and all that a few times. And once you think it's done, leave it for a few days and look at it again. If you still like it and you feel you can't improve it further, then you can use it. Tip number 3, unify your brand. Once you've designed your logo, take a look at your stream and see where you can use the same colors and shapes as you use for your logo. If everything looks unified, then you do not need to add much else to the screen for it to look professional and to really carry your recognizability. And lastly, have fun with it. Make sure it resonates with you and your audience. Your logo is a great opportunity to start making impactful merch that people really want to wear. If you want to see how you can set up a merch store and know many other ways to monetize your stream, then make sure to click on this video right here because I go into detail on all this and more in that video. And as always, stream better, stream smart.